Hi guys, this is Jester again of MTG Jester YouTube channel. Today we will be opening our first Theros Beyond Death sealed product. No, so I only have 3 sealed products of Theros Beyond Death because that time I wasn't able to secure some of collector boosters. So I only have 1 draft booster box and the pair of Planeswalker deck. So I believe that's the last Planeswalker deck that was released to us, no, because the following, the Ikoria, I think is the next after the Theros Beyond deck. They already included the commander decks in the Ikoria set, no, so we're not, I think, seeing any more new Planeswalker to add into our collection. Before that, we would like to thank Mr. J.R. Shanky Korean of Nisa in Hikaru Hobby Shop for providing us our draft booster box of Theros Beyond Death. And of course, it will not be complete without the buy a box promo and its foil energy Pokemon lands, no? So the constellation lands, I think they mess up with this land, no, because according to the announcement from way back, I remember they included the buy a box card and a non-foil instead of a foil inside this pack. So I think they send some foils to those shops or those providers to patch up their mistake. So we are getting a 1 constellation land in non-foil form and 1 foil form, no? So I think we will need to open this one first rather than the box. Oh, I forgot that I put the scissor in the other table. We'll just cut this carefully. Then also, like our other boxes, so we'll just showcase our foil swamp here, constellation land. So like our other boxes, we will keep 1 sealed pack here and 1 open pack for our trash collection, no? So here we got the promise by a box card, a Theros Shroud Veil, no? So a good addition to our God Legendary Enchantment Creature collection also. So Theros Shroud Veil is a 6 to cast 4/7 legendary enchantment creature god, no? So 4 generic and 1 set of Orb in colors. It has also indestructible and it needs 7 devotion to become a creature again. So all of them that are 2 colors needs 7 devotion, no? Compared to the 5 devotion that needed by the primary 5 colors. So says here at the beginning of our end step, put a coin counter on another target creature. Then whenever a creature with a coin counter on it dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under our control, no? So this one is also a good addition to again Arcanum Weaver decks, no, because it will steal their creatures, no? So also a little info, so this is the only 2 color god that was being reintroduced to us in the new Theros block, because the other 9 was never reintroduced. So only Atreus has the 3rd art of his former self, no? So now we have our planes that in constellation in 9 foil and I don't know this one, something Japan, or that can be used, I think, for or as a divider, no? So there we go. So we'll just keep them here in this side, no? It's our first legendary also. So now we will start opening our booster box. So I think the expensive ones here are the Elder Titan, I think that one. Roxa, and the other one, the Civic Color. I'm hoping to get this one also for our collection, no? Not just because of its price, but also for collection as personal, no? So she's showcasing Elspeth. Now we already had the hint that Elspeth will be back from the dead because of the mythic mythic planeswalker that was being shown to us in our last visit to Ravnica, no? So I think we have two only. So we have Calyx and Elspeth. So I think we will keep two open packs. So I think this one will be our non-opened. Then this one is our, just move it one to the side, one, so at least we can start, no? So there we go, our packs. So I think this is good enough. So this is our first open pack to keep, no? So it showcase the face of Calyx, and we have already our sealed pack there. So this one is a lot loose, no? These packs are less loose, no? It's not that of a crimp, not the same as the other packs, no? Then our first rare is Taranica, Aqua 1 Veteran. So it's a legendary creature. So 3 to cast, 3/3, 1 generic, and double in white human soldier. So it has vigilance, and whenever it attacks, untap another target creature we control. Then untap until end of turn. That creature has base and power and toughness 4/4 and gains indestructible. There you go. Then Taranica says here, I like to think Kytion keeps watch over all of us. So it has the statue of Gideon here, or known in the Theros plane as Kytion, no? So that's our first rare of the box. So here we have our commons and uncommon cards. Portent Betrayal, and this will be, I think, our first word will be Portent, no? So Portent of Betrayal is a 4 to cast sorcery. So 3 generic and 1 red to play this card. It says here, gain control of target creature until end of turn. We untap that creature and it gains haste until end of turn. Then we scry 1. And says here in the flavor text, Mogis can fan a small flame of resentment into an inferno of madness, no? One of those few also that we may get in this set is the constellation treatment of creatures or gods, no? So especially with the new treatment of the creature, so they somewhat inspire the one who made the secret lair to make the original 15 gods into a constellation treatment, no? So I think we will just go from the bottom, no? We have a foil Temple Thief here. Then we have another legend as our rare. So Apimia, the Cacophony. So it's a 2 to cast 2/1 legendary creature, or legendary enchantment creature rather, Harpy. So 1 generic and 1 black to play this one. So it has flying, and at the beginning of our end step, we may exile an enchantment card from our graveyard. If we do, we create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Then Ashok says here, sing beauty, sing for death and for the dead. That's our second legendary of the box, no? Third or 3 if Theros is included. So we have other commons and uncommons here. So I think after this one opening of pack, we ought to open one other product, no? So we will again check the boxes or box for what to uncover, no? So we have a lot already being kept here, so we will see what we will get. So this will be the one we will keep as a souvenir, no? Parikas Liberation or Libation, and this will be, I think, our second word, Libation, no? So Parikas Libation is a 3 to cast instant, so 2 generic and 1 black to play it. It has the ability, we can choose either of the 2 modes, no? You can choose one. So target opponent, sacrifice a creature, the first mode, and the second one, target opponent, sacrifice an enchantment. Says here also, if you will not pour your drink out for me, I shall pour mine out for you. There we go. Our second word, libation, no? And finally, our rare, we saw already white, I don't know what, but we have a Archons of Sun's Gray. So one of cards that I am looking to add into my Gen Arcanum Weaver deck, no? There we go. I think we will keep it like this one here. So now I had the or I already know how this works. So I think I can manipulate now how we will see our rare, no? Then our commons, I think we got a foil. That's why our rare was revealed immediately. So here we got our rare as Tasa's Intervention. So it's a X and 2 blue instant spell. So we have the intervention cycle in this set, no? So we can choose one of the 2 modes here. Look at the top X card of our library, then put up to 2 of them into our hand and the rest in the bottom of our library in random order. And the other one is counter target spell unless its controller pays twice the X, no? Tasa says here, I will bring a flood that nothing can withstand. So I think we will just reveal our foil after all these cards, no? Then finally, our foil of the pack is, woohoo! We got a Temple of Enlightenment in its foil form, no? So it's being reprinted with a different art, no? It's like a Greece or Greek themed now, no? So this is called a Skyland. So it comes into play tap, and when it comes into play, we can scry 1. So this land produces the Azorius color mana. So either white or blue. There we go. Our first foil rare of the box. I think we will just also pick this one like this. Okay. Roxa, and I think I forgot really who the other one is. Huh? Venomous Hierophant, and this will be, I think, our third word, no? Hierophant or Hierophant, no? So Venomous Hierophant is a 4 to cast 3/3 feature Gorgon Cleric. So 3 generic and 1 black to play it. It has that touch, and whenever it enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of our library into our graveyard. So we will mill 3. So the Hierophant says here, many have sought Snake Twine Parikas Panacea or Panacea. Do you wish to share their fate? So there. That's our third word, Hierophant or Hierophant, no? So I think we're already in the third one, no? We forgot to include the cacophony, but if we didn't complete our 5 word, maybe next time, okay? And finally, our rare is a Tectonic Giant. So Tectonic Giant is a 4 to cast 3/4 creature elemental giant, no? And whenever it attacks or become the target of a spell an opponent controls, we can choose one of these two modes. So first mode is Tectonic Giant, deals 3 damage to each opponent. And the last one is exile the top 2 cards of our library. We can choose one of them until end of turn or until end of our next turn. We can play that card, no? Yes, I need to arrange a little. So we are currently opening is 35 packs only, no? Then we have our rare. It's a blue one, so it's Ashok's Erasure, no? So Ashok's Erasure is a 4 to cast enchantment, 2 generic and double in blue to play it. So it has flash, and whenever it enters the battlefield, we exile target spell. So it's like a counter spell also. Then our opponent can cast spell with the same name as the exiled card, no? So only viable in formats that are needed 4 copies of each card, not in commander or tiny leaders like that one. Then here, when it leaves the battlefield, we can return we need to return the exiled card to its owner's hand, no? So the one I'm really waiting here or really want to get from here is the Constellation Gods. Then the showcase version or the Greek version of the 3, or I mean Ashok only and Elspeth, because I already have Calix version, no? And finally the elder or other legendary creature, no? We have a showcase Anax hardened in the forge. So this is the one I'm talking about, no? That we will read, no? Anax hardened in the forge, a 3 to cast star for power and 3 for toughness, legendary enchantment creature, demigod. So 1 generic and double in red to cast it. So its power is equal to our devotion to red. And whenever this or another non-token creature we control dies, we create a 1/1 red satyr creature token with this power can't block if the creature had power 4 or greater. Or if the power have 4 or greater, we create 2 of those tokens instead, no? So I think this is the third installment or third introduction of Anax, no? The first one with Saymid, her wife or his wife rather. I think what I heard from those knows the lore, the wife died or something, killed like that. So this is the showcase version of the Anax in this set, no? We'll keep him here. Then finally our rare here, or if it's given luck, our mythic also is an enigmatic incarnation, no? So it's a 4 to cast enchantment, 2 generic and 1 set of simic in colors. So at the beginning of our end step, we may sacrifice another enchantment. If we do, we search our library for a creature with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrifice enchantment converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle our library. So this may seem like the birthing pad also of enchantments, no? So here we have also Kodonos, no? So I think we need to keep this one. So I thought they only have 2 showcase of the face in the packs, no? But 3 Coronos, I think Coronos or something like that name sounds. So we got a Renata called to the hand. So it's original form, no? So it's a 4 to cast. Again, star for power and 3 for toughness creature or legendary enchantment creature, rather demigod. And says here each power is equal also to devotion to green, and each other creature we control enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. So a good addition to any of you who are using +1/+1 counters commander deck. So we'll keep her here, no? Since she is a legendary, you ought to read her, no? Because there are only few what do you call this one? Non-rares, legendaries. Irreverent Revelers. So I think this one will be our 4th word. Irreverent. So it's a 2 to cast 2/2 creature satyr. So 2 generic and 1 red to play it. And says here when it enters the battlefield we can choose one of its 2 modes, no? First one is destroy target artifact, and the other is it gains haste until end of turn, no? To some satyrs, only blasphemy is secret. So this is our next word, irreverent. And lastly, we have our rare. It's a Woe Strider, no? So Woe Strider is a 3 to cast, 3/2 creature horror. So 2 generic and 1 black to play it. Then once Woe Strider enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 white goat creature token. So we can sacrifice another creature to scry 1 and has the escape ability or mechanic. So this is the first time the ability being introduced to us. So escape, you can pay 3 generic and double black and exile 4 cards or 4 other cards from our graveyard. Then it will come into play, no? It will be as though it was played, but says here Woe Strider escapes with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So they have ability, no, once they are being escaped or they escape from the underworld, no, flavor wise. There's our rare. So we are not yet even in the halfway of the box. We'll see what we got as our foil. It's a Satyr's Cunning, no? Then finally, our rare or mythic in the box is a Shadow Spear. So another legendary permanent. So Shadow Spear is a 1 to cast legendary artifact equipment, no? So this is the equipment of Elspeth. So says here it can be paid with 1 generic mana only. Then equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink, and we can pay 1 generic to permanents our opponent's control, lose hexproof and destructible until end of turn. Then it has the equip cost of 2 generic. It says here a weapon of darkness for a warrior of light. There we go in our legend pile, no? So we are getting some different legendaries, no, for our collection. Discordant Piper, and this will be also our third. So Discordant Piper is a 2 to cast 2/1 creature zombie satyr. So 1 generic and 1 black to play this spell. And says here, when it dies, we create a 0/1 white goat creature token. So Favor's text says here, the death of the party. It's not life of the party, but death of the party. Then we have also Loathsome Chimera. So this is our fourth word, discordant. And our rare of the pack is a first Iron 1 Games. So it's a enchantment saga for 3. So 2 generic and 1 green. So as this saga enters and after our doorstep, you may add a lord counter, then sacrifice it after the 4th. So first ability is create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Second one is put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature we control. Then the third one is if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, we draw 2 cards. Lastly, the fourth, create a gold token. So Saga is already or also returning in the Kaldheim set. So I think we see some good Saga also that they are already revealing. And finally, our rare of the pack is Arasta of the Endless Web, and its original art. So I think this one was also a alternate art in this set. I think that's the one they inserted in the what do you call this one? Friday Night Pack or whatsoever that one. That's the same with bundle, So Arasta of the Endless Wave is Endless Web is a 4 to cast 3/5 legendary enchantment creature spider. So 2 generic and doubling green to play this one. So it has reach, and whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, we create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. And says here, her webs span from her own hair, reach from next to the mortal world and even into the underworld. So I think we are not yet getting any mythic in this box. I know the only good mythics are the Elder Giant or Elder Titan, that one, Foxa, and the other one I really don't know, and other Planeswalker also, although they're not that costly now. Then our rare in this pack is another legendary. It's Haktos the Unscarred. So if 4 to cast 6/1 legendary creature human warrior. So 2 sets of Azorius or rather Boros in colors. So says here it attacks each combat if able. And as it enters the battlefield, we choose 2, 3, or 4 at random. Then it has protection from each converted mana cost other than the chosen number. Haktos says here, many have sought my weakness, all hell or all have failed. So there we go. So we are getting a lot of legendary here. It's a good addition to our collection, really. And finally, our rare is a black card. It's a Treacherous Blessing. So another good addition to our Arcanum Weaver plant deck, So it's a 3 to cast enchantment, so 2 generic and 1 black to cast it. And when it enters the battlefield, we draw 3 cards. And whenever we cast a spell, we lose 1 life. So it's okay also because we just sacrifice this one immediately, And next, also he becomes When treacherous blessing becomes the target for spell or ability, you sacrifice it, no? So says here, Phoenix is generous with gifts and unforgiving of debts. So on to the next packs. I think we are already reaching the halfway of the box. Then we have a foil, a situation petitioner also. And finally, our rare of the pack is another temple or skyland, no? It's a temple of the sea. So this time it produces the dimmer color. So either blue or black. Okay. And finally, our rare of the pack is a Thassa's Oracle, no? So Thassa's Oracle is also being used now in ADH4 combo of Demonic Consultation, no? So Thassa's Oracle is a 2 to cast 1/3 creature Merfolk. So double blue to cast it. So it says here, it enters the battlefield. We look at the top X cards of our library, where X is the devotion to blue. Then put up to one of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in our hand, we win the game. So we're still not seeing any mythic in this box. I'm just hoping we are getting some. Another Anax, Harden the Forge, but this time it's a normal art, no? So we'll keep him here. And finally, for our rare, it's a Purpurous Intervention. So another intervention card, no? So a expel with red to cast it. So sa sorcery also, we can choose one of its two modes. So first mode is create AX, one red elemental creature token with trample and haste. Sacrifices the beginning of the next end step, no? So that's the one we saw a while ago, the token we saw a while ago. So this is the one that producing that. So here the next one is Purpurous Intervention, deals twice X damage to target creature or planeswalker. Then it says here, I bring a fire to recast all the world, no? And finally, we are now in our rare of the pack. It's another legendary. So it's Theros, Hand of Theros, no? So this is the one in the pack, no? So Theros, Hand of Theros is a 3 to cast 3/3 legendary creature hound. So it has vigilance, menace, lifelink. So it can be cast only with one generic and one orb in set of colors. So says here, creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield, and players can cast spells from graveyard. So we cannot cast flashback, escape, something like that, no? So it disabled that abilities. So it says here, 3 sharp barks announce an attempt to escape the underworld. 3 sharp bites and eat. So we will have a home there in our legendary piles or row. And finally, we reach our foil of the pack. It's or rare of the pack. It's another legendary. It's Phoenix Lotus. No, not that bad of a pull, but it's also a good addition to our collection. No? So Nyx Lotus is a 4 to cast legendary artifact. So 4 generic to play it. So it enters the battlefield, tap, and we can tap this one to choose a color and add an amount of that mana equal to that color or equal to the devotion of that color. No? So not even mythic. We didn't still see any mythic, even just one here in our box. So we are getting a foil, no? So our rare of the pack is Allure of the Unknown. So a 5 to cast sorcery spell. So we can pay 3 generic and 1 set of Rakdos in colors to reveal the top 6 cards of our library. An opponent excites a non-land card from among them. Then we may put the rest of those cards into our hand. That opponent may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. And says here, the Light of Hope blinded Panther to the ills of the world. So it also was made by Seb McKinnon. No? If you can see the artist here, Seb McKinnon. Then we have our common and uncommon. Finally, our foil of the pack is a Rise to Glory in foil, no? Shaman, and this is the one, no? Alerios and Raptured, no? So this is him. So it's a 3 to cast legendary creature human. So 2-3. So 2 generic and 1 blue to cast it. And says here it enters the battlefield tap. Then doesn't untap during our untap step if we control a reflection, no? And it enters the battlefield, we create a 3-2 blue reflection creature token, no? He said here, why would I ever want to look away? So I think it's based also in one of the characters in the Greek mythology, the one who got in love with his reflection, no? Finally, we are in our rare of the pack is our first mythic of the box. It's Nyx Bloom Ancient. So a good pull, no? Nyx Bloom Ancient is a good pull in this box. So it's a 7 to cast 5/5 enchantment creature elemental. So 4 generic and 3 pull in, given to cast it. So it has trample, and whenever we tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times as much of that mana instead. And says here, ancient yet ever young. It is wise and subtle, and cruel and reckless as the spring itself. So our first mythic. Finally, our rare of the pack is a blue card. It's a Protean Thaumaturge. It's not that good of a card, no? So it's a 2 to cast 1/1 creature human wizard. So 1 generic and 1 blue to cast it. It has the Constellation ability. So Constellation says here, whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under our control, we may have protection, or we may have Protean Thaumaturge become a copy of another target creature, except it has this ability, you know? And it says here, once you see past the veil we call reality, altering your own shape is elementary. So not that good of a pull, no? Lastly, our rare, before we pause the video, it's a white, it's a Shatter the Sky. So a good also used for board wipe, no? It's a 4 to cast sorcery, 2 generic and double in white to play it. It says here, each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card. Then we destroy all creatures. When the gods go to war, mortals pay the highest price. So we still have, I think I counted a while ago, we still have 13 packs more, no? Hopefully in these 13 packs we will still get 4 or more mythic, because usually mythic counts in a box is 5 and up. But I'm not too sure in Theros Beyond Death, no? So here we have a 1/1 white human soldier token. Then we have mountain for our basic land, or the land that is constellation and full art. So here we got another legendary creature. It's a Timereth chosen from death. So 2 to cast, 2 power and a star toughness legendary enchantment creature demigod. So double black to play it. So says here its toughness is equal to the devotion of, or our devotion to black, and has the ability pay 1 generic and 1 black, exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. You gain 1 life for each creature card exiled. So I just sip a coffee, you know, to help me wake up more. So I think this is the second take on the Timereth legend, no? Because the first one was the Murder King from the original Theros Black from way back. And finally we reach the rare of our pack. It's a Nightmare Shepherd, no? So Nightmare Shepherd is a 4 to cast 4/4 enchantment creature, a demon. So 2 generic and double in black to play it. So it has flying also. And whenever another non-token creature we control dies, we may exile it. If we do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 and it's a nightmare in addition to its other types. So here. Then have our foil. It's a island land, no? And it's all foil lore. So there we go. I think we will be putting it here with our first one. Then I think I just so it's Bronze Hide Lion. So a 2 to cast 2 or 3 to rather creature cat. So 1 set of Celestia in color. So we can pay 1 green and 1 white to let it gain indestructible until end of turn. Then when it dies, we can return it to the battlefield. It's an aura enchantment with enchant creature we control, and we can pay again the green and white. Enchanted creature gains indestructible until end of turn, and it loses all other abilities. And here we have our foil. It's a Phalanx Tactics. Then finally, our rare of the pack is a blue legend. It's Trix, the Sudden Storm. So it's a 5 to cast for 5 legendary creature elemental giant. So 3 generic and double in blue to cast it. So it has also flash and flying. And spells we cast with converted mana cost 5 or greater, cost 1 less to cast, and can't be countered, no? Says here, even in their mountain fortresses, the Akro once have learned not to anger Tasa. So we are getting a lot of different legendary, no? Really good addition to our collections. Coffee in the morning is really good, no? Then we have another timer red, but this time it's a showcase, no? In Constellation. And finally, our rare of the pack is another legend. It's Galia of the Endless Dance, no? So a 2 to cast 2 legendary creature Satyr. So 1 set of Ghoul to cast it. She has haste, and other creatures, or rather Satyr creatures we control, get +1/+1 and have haste. And whenever we attack with 3 or more creatures, we may discard a card at random. If we do, we draw 2 cards. Then says here by Galia, there's no success like excess. So our legendary collection is really having some new ones to accommodate, no? And finally, our foil of the pack is again a Denied Divine. And lastly, our rare or mythic is a Temple again, no? So another one of those Skyland. So this time it's Temple of Malice that produces the Rakdos in color red or black. So I think we are about to finish. I think 9 more packs. I'm not so sure, 9 or something. Another legendary creature, Sayona, Captain of the Pyleas. So if you to cast 2 legendary creature, human soldiers, 1 generic and 1 set in Celestia colors. Says here, when it enters the battlefield, we'll look at the top 7 cards of our library. Then we may reveal an aura card from among them and put it into our hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Then whenever an aura you control becomes attached to a creature you control, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So I think this is combo with one of the enchantment. I just forgot, but that enchantment is included in the signature spell book Gideon, no? So I just forgot what the name of the enchantment. It's a 2-card combo with this. And finally, the rare of our pack is a white card. It's Heliod's Intervention. So again, an intervention spell. So X and double white to play it. It's an instant that has 2 modes. No, we can choose one. First mode is destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments, and the other one is target player gains twice X life. Heliod says here, I bring a dawn that no night can follow. Let me say forward. So we're about to reach the end of the video. A few more packs left. Here we have an art card or advertisement card. Then we have forest for our full art land. So we are getting a foil. This time we got a rare idyllic tutor. So ito ka sorcery, 2 generic and 1 white. That let us search our library for enchantment card. Then we reveal it and put into our hand. Then we shuffle our library. So this one is a good addition also for our Gen Arcanum Weaver deck. No, if we want to search for any enchantment that we will play. Then finally, the rare of the pack is another legend. It's Renata. Call to the hand. It's showcase treatment, no? Or constellation showcase. It's really good addition to our collection. So we are still at 1 mythic the box. I'm not really sure how this box will save us. And lastly, our rare of the pack is a red. It's a Phoenix of Ash. So it's a 3-2 cast 2-2 creature Phoenix. 1 generic and double in red to play it. It has flying and also haste. And we can pay 2 generic and 1 red to let it get +2/+0 until end of turn. So it's like a double or a triple casting or activation of what do you call this one? Fire breathing. It has the escape mechanic, so we can pay 2 generic and double red and exile 3 other cards, no, from our graveyard, so we can cast it there. Then says here Phoenix of Ash escape suite, a +1/+1 counter on it. There we go. Still no other foil inside, so we are now down to our 5 packs, including the one I'm holding, no? And excluding the one we already kept. We only open 35 packs. Then here we got a new legendary, no? In its showcase constellation form. So Calliope, the Love of the Sea. It's a 3-2 cast, star power, and 3 toughness legendary enchantment creature demigod, no? So 1 generic and double blue to cast this one. So its power is equal to our devotion to blue. And says your creatures enchantment we control have spells your opponent cast that target this spell cost 1 more generic to cast, no? So there we go, another addition. Finally, the rare or mythic of our pack is a green, another intervention card. So it's Nylea's intervention this time. So it's expel and double green to play it. A sorcery also. So we may choose one of its 2 modes. So first mode is search our library for up to X land cards, reveal them and put it into our hand. And the other mode is it deals twice X damage to each creature with flying. Then Nylea says here, I bring a wilderness no law can tame. So I have 4 more packs open. Still no sight of other mythic. finally, our foil of the pack is our second rare foil, no? So it's a Storm Herald, and also a first copy of this card that we got. So Storm Herald is a 3-2 cast creature human shaman, 2 generic and 1 red in color. So it has haste, and when it enters the battlefield, we can return any number of aura cards from our graveyard to the battlefield attached to creatures we control. Then we exile those auras at the beginning of our next end step. If those auras would leave the battlefield, exile them instead of putting them anywhere else, no? And our rare, so this one is a 2-pack rare. Finally, our rare here is a Nation Boar. Not that good of a pull. So Nation Boar is a 5-2 cast 10-6 creature boar. So 3 generic and double in green to play it. And it says here, all creature able to block this card do so. And whenever this becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller draws a card. It says here, Renetta led the best hunters in all of Theros on a quest to bring down the terror of the Citizen Wilds. So, last 3 packs until we reach the opening of anything that we can pull from the box, no? And finally, I think we are getting a legendary that is foil, no? I think it's Sayona because I saw a while ago it's a like gold and green, no? So no, it's our foil is a Sentinel's Eyes again, no? And finally, our rare is a woohoo. So finally, we got an Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. So one of the what they call this one, expensive mythic of the box. So it's also a legendary. So Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath is a 3-2 cast 6-6 legendary creature, Elder Giant. So 1 generic and 1 set of Simic in colors. It says here, when it enters the battlefield, we sacrifice it unless it escapes. Then, whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, we gain 3 life and draw a card. Then we may put a land card from our hand onto the battlefield. It has the escape cost of double set of Simic cards, and we exile 5 other cards from our graveyard, no? Oh, there we go. So finally, we got an Uro, no? So it's a now 2 mythic box, no? Hopefully, we still get the remaining other mythics here in this 2 pack. And finally, for our rare of the pack, it's a green card. It's a Mantle of the Wolf. So it's a 4-2 cast enchantment aura, 3 generic and 1 green to play it. And says here, it can only enchant a creature, and the enchanted creature gets +4/+4. And when this aura is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, we create 2 green wolf creature tokens. So Nylea, God of the Hunt, says here, be fearless, for a furious rebirth awaits you. So finally, our last pack of the box. Hopefully, we are getting another good one. And our common uncommons are, the first one is a uncommon, again, legendary, no? So it's Utopia, the Twice Favored, a 3-2 cast 2-2 legendary creature, human, a wizard. So 1 generic and 1 set of Simic in colors.
He has the ability Constellation also, that whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under our control, we put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Then target creature gains flying until end of turn. No? Says here, Nylea speaks to her in the wind-blown leaves, Tassa in the rushing tides. No? Another good addition to our legends. And finally, we reach our foil. It's a Timaret, no? Timaret chosen from that. So I'm correct in saying it is. No? And our last final, so we have another legend. So I think we are getting a god, no? Erebos, Bleak Hearted, no? So her final card is a mythic. So this is a 3 mythic box. So there we go. So I think we survived at the last part of the video, no? So now we will proceed to get something from here, no? I think we are getting the other what they call this one, promo pack. So I think this one is from my collector booster box of Ikoria, no? So we're not yet done of opening the Ikoria collector booster box, but at least we are able to get the what we call this one. This is a 2-in, or we can call it as a add-on when we bought that box, no? So here we go. So we will see what we got here, no? So here we got a Forbidden Friendship in its foil treatment promo. Then we got a it's with the back, a Seagate or Sea Dasher Octopus. So it's a 3-2 cast, 2/2 creature octopus, 1 generic and double in blue to play it, and has the mutate ability, 1 generic and 1 blue to play it. So I think I already talked about mutate on way back. Has also the flash, and when this creature does combat damage to a player, draw a card. So this one is a good addition to rogue decks, no? Because it will net us or deal us what we call this one, cards, and also to the ninja decks. And finally, the one we got is another Arasta of the Endless Web. So this is the one, I think, with the different art, no? Or am I just wrong? Anyways, another legendary in a foil, no? So there we go. So there you guys see our unboxing of Theros Beyond Death